Wow. Hello, soul family, beautiful souls, everyone out there listening. I really don't even know where to start this reading video. I don't know how you all are feeling, but from my perspective, because I am releasing this video on Monday and our last video came out on Friday, and yet the energy has been shifting so fast that that Friday video feels almost like lifetimes ago. So there is so much emotional ground to cover here. A lot of really charged messages that have been coming up and coming through. I know I've taken a couple days off from posting over the weekend. You guys know that prior to this, I was doing a ton of extra content, creating a lot of mini readings between our main collective reading videos, but I needed a few days just to kind of process and sit with the energy myself, and I'm now back full force in today's video. Now, if you are new here, I do collective readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can tune in on those times and days. Those videos are live premiered as well. But outside of that posting schedule, I also like to do what I refer to as mini readings, which I jokingly say aren't always so many because sometimes they end up being just as long as my main collective reading videos, but they're intended to be kind of more brief messages than those collective readings. So do subscribe if you feel some kind of alignment here with my energy and you want to stay connected to all of those messages that come through. So where to begin? Okay, so I'm getting a lot of different threads of energy, right? A lot of different people coming through, a lot of people who are connected to you in very strong ways. And something about recent shifts, astrologically, collectively, have triggered some of these individuals to really react to your energy in a different way. So let's use that as a starting point. That feels like a good place to start because there's a lot of emotional chaos here. There's a lot going on here. And I know many of you are feeling that. For some reason, I heard past, present, and future timelines merging, or maybe emerging, like there's something emerging, something coming into focus. That could be relevant for someone, but I almost get this sense of like people from your past, people trying to come in futuristically, and then a lot happening in your now, kind of like all of that converging together somehow for someone listening. So what I want to say first is you are an activator. And if you found this video and you've felt this alignment with it so far, it's because there is a very specific message that you need to receive that I felt coming through very strongly. Now, of course, when I say need to receive, I only say that because I feel that for the group who will connect with this message, it's going to feel really resonant and almost have this kind of sense of urgency, like, wow, I really needed to know that today at this point in my journey, whatever today is for you, by the way, because time really is not relevant at the level of energy. But the first thing I want to say is people do not leave your energy unchanged. Well, I guess to finish the thought, see, you can tell in my reading, things are jumping around. I feel like that reflects a lot of chaos in the collective field right now, and you might be feeling that internally. But I was going to say, of course, I always preface these readings with the sort of note or disclaimer to always use your intuition because you are really the powerful one. You are the intuitive one. You have all of the keys, all of the answers within yourself. And it's my only goal through these readings to reconnect you more consciously with what you already know within. And I just realized my background music has paused for me as I'm recording. I like to listen to the music. So I'm going to fix that now and pause for just a moment. Okay, I'm back. And so people don't leave your energy unchanged, right? You are an activator. And the reason this is coming up right now is because I feel like everything in your journey so far, and we actually spoke on this in some recent readings as well, which you'll remember if you've been following the energy here. But lately, there have been a lot of people reacting strongly to your energy, and I'm hearing behind closed doors. So they may not always show you those reactions visibly, but they feel it internally. And I'm hearing specifically your energy has a way of calling into question the aspects of someone internally that have been bringing up cognitive dissonance, meaning there is a part of them trying to lie to themselves or trying to live a lie. And this can be really uncomfortable because we are literally evolutionarily programmed to fight to maintain the status quo, to maintain a sense of stability, a sense of certainty. And when things that we consider about ourselves or our lives to be true come into question, this can be incredibly destabilizing, and we can run away from the person or the event or the thing that is triggering that perceived destabilization, even if it's ultimately for our highest good. So one thing coming through here very strongly is you may have certain people who have been activated or triggered. I guess those words are kind of interchangeable, but they've been activated or triggered by you in such a way that they are running away from you or pushing against you because behind closed doors within themselves, maybe even secretly, you've been calling into question aspects, parts of themselves, parts of their life that they had relied upon for a sense of stability, but that they were lying to themselves about in some regard. And I have to say, this gets very specific for a group of you, but I really want to say that take this as generalized as it applies, this specific kind of scenario that I'm going to get into, because I'm feeling guided into it, even though I feel like I might just be speaking to a specific group here. But I'm going to get into this. Just be sure to use your intuition. Take this as generally or specifically as it connects. But I have to say, for a very particular group, there is a specific kind of person that you've been triggering lately. And this is the kind of person who has settled in their life, but even more specifically for some of you, the kind of person who has settled in love. So I'm hearing become complacent, and you've somehow been sent into this person's life to shake up their energy. And in many cases, the way that you've done this is, I'm hearing you were this natural expression of so much of what they've been craving or they've been longing for or desiring that they thought was impossible. It's like you awoke dormant desires within this person that they didn't know were there. And this is creating a lot of chaos because the person that they're with currently or that they settled for romantically, and again, this is so specific, but if this is for you, then the person that they settled for romantically never touched this part of them. And this is always very confusing to this person because I feel that in many cases, this is someone that you technically have not spent as much time with in the physical world in this lifetime as they may have spent with this other romantic person. Again, if there's another romantic person involved, if this is a non-romantic situation for you, I could just be speaking to you awakening like secret or hidden desires within others that they didn't even know that they had, that activate them in such a way that make them realize how they've been settling. But that can be very disruptive because often the things that we settle for provide a lot of stability. Now, this is going to send me off on a little emotional side tangent, but I feel it's really important. My guides are really pushing through me saying this, so bear with me here. But someone needs to hear today or tonight, depending on what time you're listening, that you are so brave for choosing your heart, even if it means instability, following your heart path, even if you are feeling like you're putting everything on the line. I feel that you are someone who throughout your life has had to choose your heart over stability over and over again. And not everyone has understood this choice. It's been deeply personal to you, and it's a choice that, again, you've made continuously. And the fact that you've made this choice continuously makes you a very rare kind of being in this world, and also a very powerful one. I feel like for some of you, even recently, and I know, like I said, this is kind of getting us off on a tangent, but it feels important. I feel as though there's been a situation where it took every ounce of courage in you to honor your truth, to honor your heart path, to honor something that was true for you but felt messy or felt uncertain. And I feel this message coming through that it was so beautiful, the way that I'm hearing, the way you spoke up, the way you protected your truth, the way you protected your heart, even if it didn't fully logically make sense to you. Specifically, I'm picking up that something may have felt very off to you energetically, or maybe you felt it in your body, because the physical body has its own form of powerful intuition. But I just get this sense, I'm almost getting like this literal gut feeling that something was off, and you honoring that by, I'm hearing, adhering to your own timing, even when other people may have been pressuring you into theirs. When you honor and respect your own pace, your rhythm, your timing, and the truth of how you're feeling, even when it's not necessarily logical or it's potentially disruptive for you, I'm hearing that this really keeps your energy in this beautiful, clear, pure, high vibrational space. But it takes so much courage to do. And ultimately, ironically, you stepping on that path works to the highest good of everyone involved. You choosing not to sacrifice yourself. The word appease has been coming up a lot, like that you're choosing to honor your truth instead of appeasing other people, things, dynamics, or situations that would rather you betray your truth for their comfort. You find no comfort in complacency because you are a soul who chose not to settle, and you make that choice over and over again. But know that this is part of what makes your energy so uncomfortable to people who are settling, because everything about you is so opposite to that energy of settling. So I feel no one meets you by accident. When someone crosses paths with you in a meaningful way, through a conversation, a deep interaction, a shared moment of eye contact, or hearing something about you or your story, maybe you feel guided to share something with someone that's deeply personal and you don't know why, which, by the way, for some reason, I am getting that for a group of you, there was some opening for a really vulnerable conversation where you felt guided to share a part of yourself that was really raw, that was really real. And you don't always feel guided to share these pieces of yourself just because you're very in tune, you're very intuitive, and you know, I'm hearing pearls before swine, which of course is a biblical phrase, but you know that you are precious, you are like this pearl, and that you are not meant to even be perceived by everyone. You know that there are parts of yourself that are so sacred, that are meant to only be received and to be perceived by people who are on a very sacred journey themselves, who have the ability to appreciate those parts of you. And having access to information about you or your story or your past or your vulnerable parts, all of that is a privilege. But I feel there was a moment or an opening. My guides keep calling it like an opening, like this random alignment where it's almost like you and another person or a group or something like slipped through the cracks of reality for a moment, and you found this random, but it wasn't really random. It was very divinely orchestrated, but this beautiful, seemingly random opening where you felt irresistibly called to share something that was very real, whether it was a part of your story, some of your heart, yourself. I'm hearing you revealed yourself to this person in some way. that you shared something with them that you don't always share with a person. And you may have questioned it afterwards, by the way. You may have wondered, why did I share that with that person? Why did I tell them that? Because again, I feel you're very intuitive and you tend to be very protective with what you share with another person in that kind of context. But I feel that you crossed some kind of barrier or boundary that you typically have in place, that you made some kind of exception for someone. It's like this situation just presented some kind of special, meaningful opening where you shared something about yourself or revealed something about you that you don't typically reveal. And I feel like this was a really vulnerable, emotionally charged moment for you, but I'm getting it was the same for the other as well. I'm hearing there was a shared seenness between you and this person, whether this was a platonic interaction, a romantic interaction. I feel that in this moment, the both of you felt so seen by the other. And you may have wondered again afterwards if you said too much or shared too much, but there was a reason you felt guided to share what you did. And it's because, well, getting back full circle to what we've been talking about, where no one meets you by accident, this person you were interacting with, or maybe for some of you it was a group, they were on a sacred journey themselves, even if they didn't quite realize it, even if they still don't realize it. And they called your energy into their life. They called your frequency into your life on a higher self level for the activation. Because have you noticed how, and I've mentioned this before, but seriously, start to notice how often when someone is on some kind of journey of self-improvement, of bettering themselves, of growing in some way, they tend to meet you or connect with you. Like you might often have the experience of meeting someone very uncannily and then them telling you, it's so strange, I just made this decision to quit my job or to follow this dream, or I've started reading these books on spirituality, or I've started exploring how to improve myself in this way or that way. It's almost like you meet people in those vulnerable moments that are almost like crossroads of their life, where they call you in and you light up for them a different potential path. But the thing about that path you light up for them is it's so filled with the unknown. It requires them to take a leap. And not everyone has the courage to do that. So some of them will try to go back to settling, choosing a different path. But here's what I'm getting. The thing is, there's no turning off an impression that you've left on someone. Truly, they really can't go back. It's like letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak, opening Pandora's box. That's what meeting you is like. Because once you've seen a glitch in the matrix, you're never really going to believe in the matrix again. You're never going to believe in its stability. You're never going to believe that it's all there is, and you are that glitch in the matrix. You show people what is possible for them. You break open their perspective. And my guides are saying actually 85% of people that you meet in this way will try instinctively after connecting with you to put themselves back in that box. And maybe for someone listening, this has answered a really deep soul question for you, because maybe for a while you've been wondering, why is it the majority of the time when I meet someone and connect with them really deeply and have this moment of shared seenness, they seem to get scared or run away or ghost me or disconnect suddenly? Well, this is why. It's because, well, this is like an approximation, but maybe it's about true to your own experience for some of you. It seems like about 85% of the time when you meet someone at this vulnerable crossroads, yes, they call in your energy and you activate them in this way, but then they try to go back. They try to go back into the life that they settled for, the life that once left them feeling complacent. But here's the problem. You've awoke desires within them that were dormant by showing them that they could desire those things, that those things were accessible to them. And they're not going to be able to forget that. I keep hearing, who are you trying to convince? me or yourself. So I keep getting this sense for some of you. I know this is going to be so specific, but I keep sensing there's someone that you connected with in this kind of shared seen-ness way that we're describing, where you shared a really beautiful, emotionally vulnerable moment, and then this person pulled back or disappeared or shifted energy. And I feel like they're even doing things that you feel are them, like, I don't know, putting up a wall or trying to pull back their energy, trying to send a message like that they're pulling away. And I feel like there is this feeling of like, are you trying to convince me or are you trying to convince yourself? Because I feel like this is a person, again, very specific message, but I feel like we're tapped into a person who is trying to convince themselves that they're happy with this current trajectory of their life when you completely broke them open to a new world that they didn't even know existed, that stirred something in their soul that they didn't even really know was there. And they're not going to be able to go back. And I'm hearing the further they go along that track, the more they're going to feel pulled back. So this is giving me the energy of someone who's trying to maintain this, I'm hearing maintain appearances or maintain this sense of continuity to their story that they'd already consciously decided was supposed to be written in a specific way. And you know what I'm getting very strongly as well is that this is someone who is with a person or in a life or in a situation that may look right by all appearances, may check all the boxes logically, but it's almost like they are trying to force something here or put on something naturally that with you was just so easy and effortless. So for example, if this is romantic, I feel like this is someone who may be trying to convince themselves that they're happy, settling for a romantic situation that they've been in that provides them stability. But the problem is now they carry within them this seed of knowing that with you, everything they've been trying to create with this person just happened so naturally, organically. It was even something that they were trying to resist, and yet they couldn't. That's how natural things seem to be with you. I keep getting this energy of temptation, like someone who's feeling deeply tempted to like do something impulsive or completely abandon a life that they've created because of how your energy has affected them, but someone who's also deeply afraid and feeling really overwhelmed by that and almost like reacting in a way, like trying to throw this wall or this boundary up to, again, it's not even so much to convince you, is to convince themselves that they aren't feeling anything, that they're already committed to this other situation. So if you see, for example, this person posting photos of the person they're with romantically or like doing certain gestures or like really trying to put on a kind of appearance, I almost feel like they're doing that as like a compensating. It's like an overreaction because they're actually feeling something in regards to you that they're afraid of and trying to push down. And that's what I'm getting here so strongly. Again, I know we're picking up a very specific situation for someone listening, but I know we haven't pulled any cards yet. So let's go ahead and pull some cards here. What else can I channel from this specific person's energy? Okay, we have happy family in the upright position. Yeah, this represents that harmony, that stability. The garden and the gate reversed. Yeah, this seems to be someone that you really let your guard down with, but it's because you were intuitively guided to do that. You opened up something vulnerable to this person, and the word unforgettable is coming out, like because you shared something vulnerable with them or some piece of yourself. I'm hearing they're wearing that piece of you now on their energy and they can't escape it because there was something real here. I'm hearing so real they didn't want to touch it. It's like they were afraid to get too close to it because of how real it was for them. With community in the upright position, yeah, I feel as though the situation this person may be in, again, if they're in another romantic situation, it feels like they're in something very stable that has all of the markers of being a stable connection or relationship or having continuity, longevity. It feels like there are other people around who are involved as well, because I keep picking up on like a shared community here. That might be approval from family or friends, or maybe a shared community, like a shared friend group or something like that. I feel like this point of stability that they're questioning, especially if it's a romantic relationship, is very much tied into their community here. I just keep hearing, but I saw something real. Yeah, this is someone trying to deceive themselves with the moon card reversed. And I think that they got afraid because you saw too much truth in them. They felt like anytime they got around you, you had this way of piercing right through them, of seeing right through them, and they're trying to maintain control here with the King of Swords. This is someone trying to stay on their current trajectory, trying to keep writing that same story that they started writing with this person, or whatever here is bringing them stability. They're resisting the inevitable chaos that they know would ensue if they were to be fully honest with themselves. And I feel you saw that truth within them, and they know it. They know that you saw it, even though it seems to have gone unspoken in most cases. And there's a fear here. There's a fear of when they're around you, you see the truth within them so clearly that they're trying to hide from themselves, that they almost start to see it themselves. And you know what? I think that's how your energy affects many, many people. It's that you see the truth so clearly in other people generally that they can't deceive themselves in your presence. The truth literally bubbles to the surface within them when they are present with you. And I do feel you gave this person a lot of pure presence. Like, I feel like there were moments that you were fully present with them, and that's very, very powerful. Your pure presence, that pure focused energy coming from you towards another person, is incredibly powerful, but also incredibly revealing. I feel as though, yeah, with the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse position, this is someone who feels like they're in a situation that's very stable, but also very repetitive and monotonous. Like, it's very secure. It seems very supportive of them physically. And the word conflicted keeps coming up. Like, this is someone feeling deeply conflicted. I'm hearing, I'm still trying to fight it out. It's almost like they're hoping that they can wait out these feelings for you, wait out this. I keep seeing your eyes, like your eyes are burning into this person's memory. Even when you're not around, it's like they see you or feel you looking at them, like they feel your energy on them, and they keep thinking that it's going to fade. But I'm hearing it just keeps intensifying. They keep telling themselves they're going to fight to hold on to the stability in their life, that they're going to let these feelings for you pass, but it's not happening. And it's not going to happen, because this person, as long as they continue down this pathway, they're going to feel that restlessness in their soul now, because you awoke something within them that can't be put back to sleep again. So what else can I channel here? Healing. Summer. Okay, so regardless of where you are in the world, because I know the timing of summer will depend on which hemisphere you're in, but I feel summer really meaning that between the months of May and August, there's going to be some kind of shift. And with this card healing, I feel that this is a card indicating that this person is going to be integrating some very powerful energy that they've been receiving from you, that they haven't necessarily known what to do with. It's almost like it's so much energy they've been getting from you. It's so much that you've awoken within them that it's almost overwhelming in the moment, too much to process all at once. So what I see with this card is that this is an energy that's going to be processed slowly and gradually over the point over the course of time. And specifically in the summer, I'm hearing some of those shifts may become visible in their life because this process is inevitable. Them processing this energy that they've been receiving from you is inevitable because I'm hearing the transference has already happened. That energy has already been transferred. You've already left that impression on them. Maybe that answers a question for someone here as well, because I feel that for some of you listening, there may be this question like, did they feel this? Did I really leave an impression? Did I do enough here? Is there something more I should be doing? If that's been the case for you, I feel the message coming through. Yes, you've done enough. You've made the impression. And that's actually why this person is pulling away and trying to fight for their old life or their previous sense of stability, because they can feel it slipping away in the presence of this activation that you've created within them. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this reading into the extended. If you are really aligning with these messages and you want to come with me for the extended version, you can listen either here on YouTube memberships or on Patreon, and I'll be leaving a link to both in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.